Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's third video. Now I wasn't planning on doing an evening video for you this evening, but I did today's second video, and I said in that I thought that before too much longer, we was going to start getting some model agreement about this cold weather, because we saw in the second video that is here on the homepage. Just scroll down, you'll find it above JMA Friday, which is also here on the homepage. Been a very busy day today. I said that I thought we'd get some model agreement because we had a big split between the GFS and the ECM WF in relation to next week's weather. We may be starting to firm up on very cold conditions winning this through the course of next week. So that's why I thought I'd better do you a third video showing you the latest model runs as they've just come out. In fact, the ECMWF is coming out right now. It's being released as we speak. So I'll bring you up to date with that at the end of the video. May not get to the very end of it, but we'll get most of it in. But we'll start off having a quick look at the GFS and the ECM WF. So this is the midday run of the GFS model. We're starting on Monday, and we find that we've got high pressure just ridging through the country from the Atlantic, also trying to build up over Scandinavia. Nothing particularly cold there, just mostly dry and reasonably mild on Monday. Now we go through to Tuesday, and we find that this ridge in the Atlantic is trying to get to the ridge that's building over Scandinavia. What actually happens is that through the middle part of next week, we just finish up this area of high pressure sitting over the country. But this is getting closer now towards a Scandinavian high compared to what we had this morning. So run by run, I think the GFS is now beginning to shift back towards that idea of getting the heights to our northeast. This is how things are looking on Thursday, and the high pressure is centred over the UK, but you'll notice it is ridging back here into northern parts of Germany, and also ridging further back than that in towards the west of Russia. All you got to do is shift this by about 500 miles, and we'll be starting to pull in cold easterly winds as early as the middle of next week. So that's quite a big shift towards that very cold ECM solution that we saw in today's second video. Now, as we go through to the end of the week, the high pressure continues to sit close to the country. It's just to our east. This is bringing generally quite cold weather in. It's a continental flow. So if you're looking at night frost, but nothing particularly wintry still at this point. However, next weekend, look at this. This is Saturday 24th of February, and we're starting to move that high pressure definitely now up to Scandinavia. It's pushing north to Scandinavia. There's the upper air temperatures for next Saturday. Very deep cold pool is sitting to our northeast. You notice we are still generally quite mild, actually, with those upper air temperatures, but down on the surface it will be a lot colder than that. There'd be hard night frost in that sort of situation, and probably even some freezing fog patches as well. And then look at this. We get through to Sunday the 25th of February. We're heading up towards day 10, and now we are pulling in a proper easterly wind as a high pressure is setting itself up at 1,045 millibars over Scandinavia. So for England and Wales, cold air on a proper easterly wind is starting to move in. There's the upper air temperatures for Sunday 25th February. A deep, deep cold pool, severe cold pool, is sitting just to our north and to our east. And look what's going to happen as we get through to day 10, which is Monday the 26th of February. It's all back on. The GFS has brought it all back after dropping it over recent model runs. So the high pressure over Scandinavia is beautifully aligned to be bringing in this long fetch easterly wind. If you follow the isobars back, the air's originating from western Russia, probably from the Urals, and we're bringing that bitterly cold easterly wind flooding in across the continent. So there's your upper air temperatures at day 10, with severely cold air moving in from the east. That will be bringing heavy snow, and you would have daytime temperatures below freezing all day. Night times would probably be going down to around -10 across England and Wales. And then we keep this very, very cold weather going into the extended range of this midday run of the GFS, the very latest. Bitterly cold east-northeast winds dragging in heavy snow from the east. Those are the thickness lines And they show, unbelievably, that the 510 thickness line is moving in from the east across England and Wales. That is a very, very rare visitor to the UK from the east. We do sometimes get the 510 thickness line, this deep blue line. We sometimes get that from the north, getting into Scotland from the Arctic. It's very unusual to get that in from the east. It just goes to show you how severely cold this easterly wind could potentially be at the end of the month. This is real big freeze type weather. Even though it's late February, this is still early enough to get 510 thickness line to be enough for big freeze weather. And you will get a lot of snow coming in with these east and northeast winds, particularly focused on central, southern and southeastern England. Then look what happens as we get through into the start of March. We're building a proper Greenland high up then, so we're locked in to a very cold spell of weather, still having winds in from the east or the northeast as the upper air temperatures showing that the big freeze goes on. And it goes off and running then into sort of the first week of March, which stays very, very cold. Probably the snow eases off a little bit, but it will still be really cold there going into the first week of March. So the GFS, it's brought it all back. It's still a little bit delayed in doing it compared to BCWF, but it's brought it back. And by day 10, it does have us setting up a big freeze. These are the GFS ensembles showing that, this thick green line just here is the operational run of the GFS, what was just looking at. So that's where it starts going cold, just there with the upper air temperatures. You notice it goes down to that sort of level, minus 15 at 850 HPA. Now, the bulk of the GFS ensembles are still up here. So the GFS ensembles are still on the mild side generally, although there are more cold members, if you see what I mean, compared to when we looked at these ensembles earlier on today. So whilst the GFS ensemble, I should say, hasn't shifted definitively severely cold by day 10, it is moving, and there are more runs there that are going for very cold weather by day 10, including the operational run, than there was when we looked at these ensembles for today's second video. This is for GEM. This is starting off on Monday, and we find bridge of high pressure close to the country, so relatively dry and quite mild. By Tuesday, already by Tuesday, we decided to take that high pressure up towards Scandinavia. We're beginning to pull the wind in from the east, and then these easy winds just pick up as we go into second half next week. This is Thursday, 22nd of February, for example, less than a week away, and we've got a long fetch easterly wind here being dragged in across the country by the GEM. There's the upper air temperature showing that it's very cold. As early as Thursday, we could be really cold, and we could be bringing in snowy easterly winds, particularly to southern and eastern parts of the country. And then it gets more severe, actually, as we get to the end of next week. This is Friday, 21st of February. Again, a long fetch east to northeast wind. Follow the isobars back. The air's going right the way back to west of Russia, pushing that very cold air in across northern, central and western Europe. Again, there's the upper air temperatures, really cold. We've got severe cold air just to our east coming across the North Sea. Certainly cold enough again for daytime maximums by the end of next week to be below freezing. And you'll be getting heavy snow showers being dragged in, those easy winds as well. That looks really cold and potentially very snowy on Saturday the 24th of February. Again, the upper air temperatures are below minus 10 across the whole of the country, 850 HPA. And then by go up towards day 10 and get to day 10, we find that we're just trying to try and bring some milder air up from the southwest. There'll be a weather front involved with that, so probably snow pushing up from the southwest and probably trying to get a bit milder to the southwest. Whether that will go into milder conditions by or just after day 10, I think it's impossible to say which way that will go. I suspect the cold air will prove really quite stubborn. Notice that the high pressure across western Russia is getting itself up to 1,050 millibars. That's a very strong Siberian high, but we've got setting up there. And then finally, the ECNDF, that's been updating as I speak, so we'll just see how far we can get to this. Again, we start on Monday with a ridge close to the country and a relatively mild start to next week. As early as Tuesday next week, we're pulling in quite a cold easterly wind. I mean, we're not talking about really cold and snowy weather, but that's quite a chilly easterly wind already as early as Tuesday. And then Wednesday to Thursday, the high pressure over Scandinavia is strengthening, so these easterly winds are picking up, especially for England and Wales, bringing cold air and snow showers in from the east. There's the upper air temperatures again for Thursday, showing the -10 isotherm is across England, Wales particularly. So with those east winds, I suspect we'll be bringing in snow. And then that takes us to a week away, Friday the 23rd of February, still bringing in those bitterly cold easterly winds, with the high pressure dominating across Scandinavia. Upper air temperatures are looking really cold. And then we go through to Saturday 24th of February, where the high pressure is strengthening over Scandinavia. And again, we've got these bitterly cold east or southeast wind bringing the focus of the snow for southern and eastern parts of the country. There's the upper air temperatures. They do look very cold. Let's just see if we can get any further with this. So we'll try the next chart, 216 hours, and that's the upper air temperatures then, and again, still looking really cold. Look at that high pressure over Scandinavia. It's such 1,050 millibars. Long fetch easterly wind, bringing that bitterly cold air in from Central Europe. So this is big freeze type weather. There's the upper air temperatures, again severely cold just to our east, and that severely cold air is pushing increasingly across the North Sea. This looks like a prolonged sort of cold spell of weather that the ECMWF is going for. Let's see if we can get the final chart. If we just can't quite get it, hasn't updated yet for that final chart. But if we could, I suspect what we would see is that this very deep upper air cold pool that's just to our east, just on the other side of the North Sea, would get across, and it will continue the big freeze going up to day 10. Let's just try one last time and see if that has updated yet. So it doesn't appear to have done so. So we can't show you the final chart this evening from the ECMWF run. But you get the idea of what's going on here. And the GFS is still a little bit delayed in this cold weather compared to the ECMWF and the GEM. But it is shifting. It has shifted tonight towards those colder solutions. And the other two, the GEM and the ECMWF, they have us very cold as early as Thursday. Within a week's time, could be facing a big freeze. We could be facing strong and really cold easterly winds. And we could be facing quite a lot of heavy snow, particularly for southern and eastern parts of the country as well. Let's just have one final go, see if that's updated. And there we go. That is the day 10 chart from the ECMWF. We managed to get it in. Upper air temperatures with that day 10 chart. Look at that. Severely cold again, with the air coming in from the east. If you've been waiting for a big freeze, that's the kind of chart you want to see. That looks very, very cold and snowy indeed at day 10. And it starts before that. It starts within a week's time. Remember, the GFS is more delayed, but it does get to that point more or less by day 10. Just a little bit later getting there, but it's definitely shifting the GFS tonight towards the ECMWF and the GEM solution. So we're going to have to watch this very closely, because this could be a really impactful spell of weather. Could be our coldest and snowiest spell that we've had for many years. If it comes off, looks like we're firming up on it, but it is still a little way away, so we can't be 100% certain about this, and obviously we'll have more for you tomorrow. I suggest keep checking back to the videos. Right, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.